All right, we're live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to, of course, a new edition of C3 Android Comics, and I got, of course, the founders and creators, Mrs. Aziza Al Yuda, and of course, Mr. Akili. I got to get that name down, Akili.
Yeah, no worries.
And so they're going to be talking about some great things here in reference to their vision and what we're going to be rolling out this year, 2026, and for the month of March Madness, as we are continuing our growth series. And this will be a growth series for our readerships, our participants, and basically those who are purchasing our comic books on a regular, consistent basis. And we're going to make sure that we have everybody's participation in this fold as we grow continually this year. So I want to get started with Mrs. Aziza. Go ahead, you have the floor.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much, Ed. We're super excited to be kicking this off. This is our first official podcast, the C3 podcast with Adroit Comics. And I'll be your host, Aziza Ilyuda. You guys can call me Z. I'm working on some super names. I was talking to Keely about it. I feel like when we do the C3 podcast that we should, have super names. So I won't put you guys on the spot right now, but just think about that for episode number 2, getting your super name together. So we have a great show planned out for our first episode. And today's title is Welcome to the New Age in Comics, because that's really what we're here to do. We want to be able to take you back to that first moment when you opened your comic book. That first comic book feeling. What did you see? How did you feel? Was your heart filled with wonder, intrigue, and excitement? Well, that's what we want to bring back. That's what we're creating here at Adroit Comics. And we're extending an invitation to you and your family to join us in the excitement and the fun. So once again, this is the C3 podcast. C3 stands for comics, culture, creativity, and how we can use them to help change the world. All right, awesome. So now to our first segment. When you hear the final version, we'll have music. We're going to have cool things in place. So for today, our first segment is called The Realm of Nutsar Revealed. All right. So we're in a whole different world. When you join the Adroit Comics universe, you're not on Earth anymore. You've taken a trip to a land far, far away that's similar to our own, but it's a whole new place. So y'all may hear me call him Bay. You may hear me call him Keely. He's been my best friend and husband for decades now. But Bay, if you don't mind, would you go ahead and share, and we can start sharing some maps? Okay, awesome.
All right.
So our story begins in the realm of Nutsariel. It's so funny because there's so much that we can say and so much that we can do, but I have it organized, I think, in a good way for today. So Ed, I'll let you, if you want to chime in, because I know you've been enjoying our maps. So
I love the maps. I'm telling you, I love the maps. Yes.
Is it in there?
Yeah, I see it. I got to bring it up to the
okay,
stage.
I'm making sure. Okay.
There we go. You got the floor for that.
Okay, awesome. Well, welcome to, or let's start. Can we start with the realm, and then we'll go down to.
Now, is it showing me move this around?
Yep, it's showing your whole screen.
Yeah, it's showing the whole screen.
Okay, it's showing the whole screen. So, all right. So, here we go.
All right, awesome. So you want to go from the realm to the country to the city, or from the city to the country to the realm?
Well, I have it. So it's capital city, and then go into the country, into the realm. So
okay,
I think it might be good to go through it like that.
Okay, good. All right, so we're starting with capital city, and that's really where our story begins. That's where you're going to find our major champions. Capital city is like, I like the word amalgam. You'll hear that in our book as well, of different cities that are important to us, that have influenced our lives and, impacted culture as a whole. So you'll see a little bit of New York in there. You'll definitely see Houston in there. You'll be able to feel some LA. You want to zoom in? Can you zoom in a little?
Is there any way that I can just share this window? instead of the screen. Let me do this over because it's if you don't mind, I don't want to.
Oh, no worries. I can
Yeah,
talk.
let
I
me.
can talk all day.
Yeah, 1 second. Let me share. I share. It says share screen instead of share window. Is there a way
Okay.
to share the window, or is it just gonna be
Well, you can share, but basically it's going to be the screen because
Oh, okay, because so I would not be able to see myself. If that's so, that's fine. I just want to make
no, no,
sure.
no,
Oh,
no. You
window.
can see yourself.
Okay, I just have to
Let me
pick the
put it
right
in the
window.
position. Yeah, let me put
Yeah,
it in
I
the right.
got you now. All right, little technical things.
Yeah, we can do picture in picture. You remember?
Okay, there we go. That's better, right?
Yeah, that's good. Okay,
Yeah,
perfect. All right, that's
Okay.
awesome. That's
right.
awesome. So, when you become a citizen of New Siena, which we'll talk about a little bit more, that's our exciting crowdfunding campaign. When you become a citizen of New Siena, so you get to choose where you want to live. So, I won't talk about that too hard until you really know what's going on. But we have the Hampton Heights, and the Hampton Heights is where the wealthy live, right? The ritzy and wealthy. Then we have New Arcton right there at the center. So, New Arcton is like our Manhattan.
Hmm.
Um, what else would you like to add? Would you like to add anything? You want me to just go through the map first?
No, go through it, and
Go
then we
through the
can
map.
go through it
Okay.
after that.
Okay, nice. So Newarkton is like our Manhattan. So you got ritzy excitement, you've got luxury, but you've also got the not so nice parts of town where things can get a little rough. Then next to Newarkton, to the I guess that's to the west, we have Clopton. So Clopton is also has a city vibe to it. It's a bit more industrial than Newarkton. You know, not as ritzy, but you still get a good city vibe in Clopton. If you go down to Collinsville, you're really getting into more the blue collar, the workers, like the meatpacking district and the docks and all the stuff like that. I'm gonna head back north to Sugarland. Shout out Sugarland, Texas. To Sugarland, it's always sweet in Sugarland. So just like Sugarland in the Missouri City Sugarland area, this Sugarland got its name from the sugar mill. That's been a staple for Capital City and surrounding areas for some time now. Then we
Hmm.
go to Sunnyside, and well, Sugarland is lots of families. You're getting into farming, you're getting into ranching, and then the same thing with Sunnyside as well. But you got lots of families and retirees in Sunnyside. And then we go all the way south to Las Gracias, which is going to give you a feel like Miami meets Los Angeles. So that's where we have our film industry, the Golden Hills, the film industry. There's lots to see and do there. And if you love to beach, Las Gracias is where it is. So I'll ask you, Keely,
Hmm.
did you have anything that you wanted to share about Capital City?
Well, Capital City. When we created Capital City, we wanted everybody who enjoys our books to kind of feel at home. So we gave a little bit. It's this. You know, get a little nightlife, get a little bit of calmness and everything. So you can picture yourself being in Capital City. So just giving a range of different atmospheres, I guess you can say, in Capital City. And then there's little things there's little gems in there that like Herman Island. I'll just give you that. That's where Aziza was born. Herman
Shout out
Hospital.
Herman. Shout out Herman Hospital.
Yeah. So that's just one. And then of course we met in Hampton. So Hampton Heights. So there's little
Mhm.
things in there that like are close to us that aren't necessarily cities or in the city, but we kind of created this big city. Except Sugarland, Sunnyside, they're part of the Houston area. But yeah, yeah, no, it's just a really cool, fresh place to be in.
Awesome. All new, all exciting. So, Mr. Peterson, where are you moving? What
You know
what
what? That's a
what
good
where are you
question.
picking your real estate? What area?
I'm still contemplating on what would be good, but I'm loving. Of course, Sugarland is always cool. I love Sugarland. A lot of history there. Um, but the one that's down below Sugarland,
Which one?
Sunnyside would
Sunny.
probably be the one.
Sunnyside.
Yeah, yeah.
I
That
think I
that's
would
that's
pick Sunnyside too.
Yeah, I'm Sunnyside.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, yeah. Shout out Sunnyside. Okay.
Right?
That's home too. That's home too. Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. So that's a great introduction to Capital City. So now we'll move on to the nation of New Siena. All right,
Uh-oh. Well,
awesome.
skipped
Let's
one.
see.
Let me get it right there. There we go.
Okay, so this is the nation of New Siena, and we haven't named all of these
Territories.
provinces yet,
Yeah.
right? These districts. So that's a part of what we're going to be doing with our crowdfunding and world building. That when you become a part of our community, that's something that you can be a part of, actually helping us name and create these communities and locales and really helping bring this realm to life. So what's there's a lot of history to New Siena that I won't dive into right now because of course we want you to read and we have a unlimited amount of podcasts to come. But this is the nation of New Siena and Capital City. Can you zoom into where Capital City is?
I'm
Just so you
getting it.
can see.
Good old
Okay, yeah.
capital city.
Good old Capital City. So it's a really big country. It sits at the center of our world. Yeah, there's Capital City right there, that little hangy peninsula. What's the other word for peninsula? There's another one for the peninsula that's almost all the way cut off. I can't remember.
You know
Oh,
the it's a peninsula is what this is. It's covered by water on
mhm,
three sides.
mhm,
So
Yeah.
you know
Mm.
Hampton Roads area,
mhm.
the
Hey.
peninsula.
Did I say shout out at the seven cities? And you're
Yes,
in
the
Virginia
seven
Beach, right?
cities.
So shout out.
Yes,
That's right.
Okay,
yes,
awesome.
definitely.
So New Siena is super rich with history, but we'll come back and talk about New Siena more. So, but you're becoming a citizen of New Siena when you join our community. So that's what's really cool about it. You can get real estate, you can get your ID card. If we have time, we'll be able to show that. All right, so let's go to the realm of Nutsar Il.
Wow.
All right, so this is our whole world, at least this world. I don't know
Mm.
how much we're supposed to share right now, so I'm
Well,
trying to
you
be
can. I
really
don't think
delicate with my words.
that's with the first cover. You see them fighting
Okay,
beings from another plane. So it.
okay,
I. I think we can reveal that there's.
we can share that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. There's a
so
world out
there's
there. Yep, there's a world out there.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
a whole new world out there. So we've really written the history of our universe from the beginning of time as we know it. You know, that's really where we started. So when it comes to the lore and the history and all that good stuff, there's just so many layers. So there's a book that gets referenced throughout our stories called The
Mhm.
Tale of Two Realms.
Hmm.
And the realm where humanity lives is Nusarium. And then there's a second realm, a sister realm, that in the beginning of time, the two realms were connected, and that one's called Nusarul. But there was a okay, I'm trying to say not too much, but they're
Yeah.
not
So.
connected right now. So I'll stop right there.
Yeah.
So this is
Yeah.
Nusarium. That's what I told you. I gotta be careful.
She got that Tom Holland disease. She got that Tom
Uh,
Holland disease.
Yeah.
And she
that's
gets
all right.
excited. And you know he does it because he's excited. So she gets
That's fine.
excited and she starts. But that's
I
great.
do. I get excited. I'm a talker. I'm a talker. So New Siena, you can see it right there, pretty much at the center of our
Hmm.
world. Um,
That's the tagline for the country in the center of the world.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
The
the
country
world,
at the center
country,
of the world,
continent. Yeah, and the city in the city of the world,
and
center of
then
the world.
Capital City says they're the city at the center of the world. So there's so much going on here, and where I want to start today is talking about the Great War.
Okay, I
The
think we.
Great War. What'd you say?
But say go to our chancellor
Okay, awesome. Chancellor
Fredericks.
Fredericks, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm bad with names in real life, and I'm bad with them sometimes in our story. Okay, so Chancellor Fredericks. So I'm just going to share some imagery from this, and I'll share a bit about the Great War of 3030.
33. Third in the world. It's 3030 is when it began.
Okay, 3030 is when the war started.
Yes.
Okay, the Great War of 3030 that really changed the face of the realm as I say as we know it, right? Things it was really crazy. That was the first and only world war that has happened in Nusariel. But now people are afraid because it seems like we're on the verge of another one right now. So that's some of the stuff, the tension that's underlying right now. So this is Chancellor Fredericks, and this imagery actually represents him declaring war. Right, this is when he actually did the declaration of war against the nation of Mercuvia. This is well, the
Danny.
commander. Can we show the commander first, or you want to show
Okay,
Danny?
there
Danny
you go. There
discovered
he
the
is.
commander. Okay, the commander. Dun, 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 dun. So the commander. I'm feeling sound effects now too. We
I
did
like
it. We posted
that.
it. Okay, thank you.
All right.
The commander is our first. What did you call him, Bay? Our apex.
Apex, yes, our Apex champion.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, he's the
Would you
one that
mind
every.
sharing a bit about the commander?
Well, the commander. It was in a time where in the war, the 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 adversaries were gaining momentum, and they needed something that helped to boost the morale and the people. So they were looking far and wide for somebody to help to win this war throughout New Siena. And they had it. I don't want to tell you much of the story. It just so happened that Danny found a man who could fly.
Wow.
And when Danny found a man who could fly, then the rest is New Siena history. But the people of New Siena don't know he can fly, and they keep it secret that he can fly. So he just, as far as they're concerned, their best soldier. So, and it goes through him and him getting to know New Siena in a different perspective and what's going on with the world. And he's a country boy, so he goes out and he sees this big world, and then what happens to him to lead to where we are with Crimson Hawk. And we speak on it a little bit in Crimson Hawk 1 and having Commander Day. So if you read it, you can see that there's things that not the best happened to the commander. So we got to figure out what's going on with the commander, and from now when he's the country's golden boy to after the Kyoshin War, which will go on more later, and now he's considered not MIA, dead, right?
Yes.
Yeah. In the
Yep.
of
That's
course,
the
the
official
the country
report
is
is that
concerned.
he's dead. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So but yeah. So then let's go back to Danny.
Okay, Danny. So Danny, well, we did. I don't. What did we call it? Autoville instead
Yes.
of vaudeville.
Well, yeah.
So yeah. So Danny is an Autoville producer. He started out as a performer. He and his wife were performers, and he just needed to do one big show to really put him on the map after Autoville vaudeville started to decline. So he went on a big search to find the biggest and best actor he can find, and he found the young man who would become the commander. Okay, I think that was good without
Yes.
giving too much
That's,
away. Okay,
I think it
good,
was great. And
awesome,
then
thank
we
you.
have next.
So this is the commander's, the love of his life, Lena Moreau. I can't see her name.
Is it Liza?
Liza. She's inspired by Lena Horne.
Yes, she
That's
is.
her name was Lena. Okay, Liza Monroe. And your face is blocking her name. So y'all forgive me. It's so many names in my head. You would
No,
think
I
that just come up.
understand.
Okay,
I'm
so
looking
she was
right
an
at her name.
actress.
That's why.
Okay, so she was a burgeoning actress and she became the commander's wife, but they actually met in that first show. So she was in the show that Danny had put together. All right. So
Okay.
we have lots of history here. Okay, this is Emperor Destroyer, Vito Destroyer. And I will say this, we do have a free download available that will be online today that you can come and get your free download of our Be a Citizen, our new Sienna Citizens Guide. Yeah, and
Yeah,
I'm just
we
really
can show it
excited.
whenever you're ready to show it. We can go through this and
Yeah,
we
let's
can put
go.
it up.
Oh, let's go through this and we'll put it up. Okay, excellent.
Okay, I can kind of just flip through this a
Yeah,
little bit.
click through. So he's our big totalitarian, destructive, take over the world guy. And this was his wife, General Tempesta Destroyer. And
Oh,
they're from the land of Mercuvia.
And this is the break of dawn.
So she is, I'll let you talk about them.
Oh, well, these are actually superpower beings from different places in in our realm. So she's not actually from New Siena, but she's part of the Amalgama Project when they got together with their allies to find more superpowered beings to help fight this terror. So she's one of them, and there's more to come, but it's her and the Blue Blaze are the ones that we are showing today. So they're actually on the side of good.
Yeah,
And the
y'all are
project,
getting.
yeah, and this is part of
This
this
is
is
good.
actually a lot of this is going to be a part of Adroit Comics issue
Mm-hmm.
3,
ACU
and
3, right?
yeah, and we'll give the full story more about the characters and things like that.
Awesome.
And
It's
then
funny because we're
go ahead.
talking about it like they're real people because you know they're real to us and you know we've been working on this for years and years now. Like some of the characters are 20 years old, some of them are 10
Mm.
years old. I mean, the anniversary of us just starting this project. How many years ago?
Oh, it's at least 10.
At
This
least 10
particular one,
years.
about 10 years.
Right, yeah, at least 10
Yeah.
years. Um, so awesome. So yay. So this is our introduction to New Sienna. And we'll click through just so you can see this. You can also read this on our website when you come and explore, but you can come, you can get this download for free. And what we're doing is sharing what our world has to offer.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so on the first page, you'll see our citizenship packages. It's also on the website. And we're just offering some super, super awesome perks. Um, Ed has his citizenship card. You'll get a digital citizenship card. You can get a printed citizenship card. You can get virtual real estate in our world. And depending on the level of investment, and this is all helping us be able to continue to build our world and, you know, get our books out there. As well as we're working towards animation, but that's another discussion. But yeah, lots of awesomeness. So here's more about the history of New Siena where you can read, you know, a nice snippet, a nice introduction, and then we'll keep clicking through. Then here's the truth report. So the truth report is actually published by one of our characters named Curtis Perry. And Curtis Perry, you can find Curtis Perry in Crimson Hawk issue number 2.
Gave too much.
By saying he's in there?
Yeah. You
Oh,
see his
sorry.
name not on there.
Oh, okay, let me rewind. This is the truth report written by an anonymous character that you'll have to find out
He's
at a
not
later
anonymous
time.
anymore,
You
baby
say
girl.
anonymous character.
It ain't
Well, it
anonymous no
is
more.
when we do the edited version.
So they
It's
didn't
too
catch it
late for
live.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's too
if they
late.
didn't catch it live though, if you come back live, you'll know. But
Right.
when we edit it and put it on Spotify or
Hmm.
wherever it's gonna go, we can we can edit stuff out. But the
At
truth
least
report,
it's not a big
right?
thing, but
No, it's
yeah,
not a big reveal, but at
Yeah,
least
it's
yeah,
they'll
not a
know
big.
now. You know, when they get the book, they'll be reading more about it.
yes.
Y'all gonna have to censor me, not for bad words, but for telling too much. Okay, um, because it's all in your head. You know, it'll just be all in your mind, and you just start talking about it, and then you don't know what's gonna
Mm-hmm.
come out. But the truth report is dedicated to telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth about the royals, about adroits, about conspiracies and corruption in New Siena and beyond. Boom. That's all I'll say now. All right, next we're taking you to Capital City so you can learn a bit more about the different boroughs and which area will best suit you. And when you become a citizen as well, when you have your address, these places are going to be showing up different places. And then in our story. And then we also have the Capital City Business League for businesses and organizations that really want to support this movement and be a part of a new age in comics. Then your business can appear in the world. You know, it's just being a part of helping us really build this world out. Dun-dun-dun. Greetings, citizens of Capital City. We are the militia. I'm not going to read it all. You'll have to read it yourself. But this is the militia led by General Blackheart. And they have officially launched their campaign for a new Sienna takeover. But I'll leave that mysterious so that you can read about that.
Oh, okay.
All right. So we also have lots of sports and entertainment. Keely, why don't you share a little bit about the sports for me? In
Okay, well,
Why they're so important to us.
we love sports. Well, I love baseball. I grew up playing baseball, football, and I really believe that sports are like really great for kids, adults alike. But
Mhm.
some of the playfulness of the sports have been taken away, and the joy and the camaraderie. So we wanted to create this whole thing in the sports thing, so we can do it our way, and then we're gonna have championships, and we'll do like quizzes about the sports and doing different things, so you can be interactive with it, and some people will get a chance to be part owners of teams. Excuse me. We have a 24 league baseball team. We recreated kind of have a game like basketball. It's called round ball. Then there's surfing and boxing and a lot of different things in the sport. So we yeah, it's gonna be a really good time, and also with the nightlife.
Mm.
Good, babe?
Yep, there's clubs. It's a lot going on. It's just a lot going
Nice
on in
that's going
Capital
on.
City. It's a lot going on. Okay. But here we have Alika Picololani, and she's a very, very pivotal, important character in our universe. She's actually the smartest person in our realm. She's that brain. That's her adroit power, is her brain and intelligence. Oh, we didn't even say that. So in our world, the people with superpowers are called adroits.
Hmm.
So adroit is from a French origin, which means to be, adept and skillful, and to really, really be especially good at something.
Mm.
So we thought that that would be a wonderful fit for the beings who've been divinely appointed with powers to help be protectors of the light. So Lika is a holder of ancient knowledge, and she's here to help share with us, and she's a leader in the fight against chaos.
And not to mention, she can really fight good too.
Yes, she can really
Okay.
fight good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She can fight good. So these are some pictures of our defenders. If you want, you want to scroll in, or we could just, I don't
Yeah,
know. It's up to you.
no, we'll show some later. Some,
Download it. Come and
yeah.
get your copy. Come and get
Yeah.
your free copy. Okay, awesome.
Exactly.
So if you visit us at adroitcomics.com, that's where you can find your free copy of your New Siena Citizens Guide, which also includes a sneak preview of Crimson Hawk issue number 2, which you're not going to want to miss. You're really not going to want to miss this. Okay. All right. I think we're on pace. We're at about 27 minutes, so we're making good time.
Yeah.
All right. Our
Okay.
next section is that first comic feeling. That first comic feeling. Okay, Ed, you're gonna be on the spot for this one. Keely, this is for you guys.
Okay.
So my question to you, and then our question to our audience as well. So please comment, share. We want to hear from you as well. I
Mm-hmm.
want you to go back to the first time you opened up a comic book. All right.
Ooh.
If you know what book it was, that's fine. If you don't, that's okay. But what I'm going to ask is for you to take us back. I won't say way back. I'm not going to play y'all out like that. Take us reasonably back. Take us reasonably back to your introduction to the comic book world. And I just want to know what you experienced, what it meant to you, and whatever you might be open to sharing with
Believe
our
it or not,
audience today.
yeah, believe it or not, my first comic book was Space Ghost.
Space
Okay.
Ghost? Oh,
Yeah, that was my comic book that I went. I'll never forget it because I told my mom I wanted to I want to go to get that comic book, and thank God I was looking all over the places for it on the west side of Chicago, and we had to go to the south side actually to get that comic book because nobody had nothing on the west side, so we had
That's
to go to the
funny.
south side. And luckily, I got relatives on the south side, and
Hmm.
they told me exactly where to go, and that was along with that, and I got a Batman comic book on top of that.
Okay.
So between Space Ghost, and that was the main two when I was growing up. My first two, and then from there I just started collecting after that.
How old were you?
Ooh, I was about 9, 10, somewhere around in there, 11,
Okay.
around in there. So yeah, so that was my first because I saw the cartoon growing
Oh
up,
yeah, definitely.
Space Ghost, and then I didn't know they had comic books about it until one of my little friends told me, because he had it. And I said, "Where did you get that book?" So I said, "I need to get a copy of it." So again, I had to go all the way to the south side to get it. Wasn't that on the west side?
That's what
So,
I just it was the father that brought it to me because I was like my friends gave me a whole bunch of comic books, and I like you said he was like this is in a book form. I
I
love
was
Batman,
shocked.
Superman, all that, and he came. He had just moved. I was in second grade, and he had just moved from Jamaica, and he was like, y'all want some comic books? And then my brother was like, "Yeah," and he showed us all these comics, and I fell in love. And the next thing you know, I was creeping into the comic book
Yeah,
shop. Yeah, so I didn't, like you said, I didn't know that they made books,
I
comic
didn't
books.
either.
I
They
just thought it was
do.
on Saturday morning or something.
Yeah,
So
Saturday mornings I get up, watch
yeah,
favorite
yeah,
Space
Super
Ghost
Friends, all that stuff.
episode.
Yeah, and then
And from there, yeah, that was my first experience with it. But it
yeah, I
taught me
think
a
I was
lot.
mine maybe like 82. I was in second grade, so around 82.
Yeah, yeah, around
Yeah,
82. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, that's when
So
I.
you kind of wonder about how you can remember all of that because that was it's just seared into your mind. And
Yeah,
when you get a comic book, you kind of get excited about the activity within the book. And we call it activity books back then because you can see a lot of action going on up in there.
mm-hmm.
A lot of, remember when they had the Batman TV series where they had the pow and the wham and
Yeah,
all that? They had that,
yeah.
and they had that blew up and it was on the screen. So when you look at the comic books now, you kind of like, wow, it has that same flow and that same flavor. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
So
that's
Z, when's your
awesome.
first comic book you read?
See now,
There you go. Put that on the spot.
y'all gonna laugh at me. It was probably like Archie or something like
Archie,
that. Cause I wasn't. I was like the nerd in the library.
you
So
remember
one
Tom,
of
Bazooka
the
Gums we
it's
used to get back in the day, AA?
what's
Remember
that?
those Bazooka Gums that we
Yeah,
had where they had the
Bazooka
little
Joe.
comic
I
book?
saw something in the store the
They
other
had the
day.
little
Some
comic
Bazooka
book
Joe.
strips within them.
Yeah.
I do remember those. I do
And
remember
I
those.
would collect them. I look, me and my sister, believe it or not, me and my sister used to collect them.
And you get
And we
special
had
prizes when you get a certain amount of them. You can send them
right,
in,
right. And you
like the
can
like the
you
Cracker
get little
Jack.
toys with it.
Yeah, I used
Yeah,
to
so that
love
was pretty
Bazooka
cool.
Joe, and they had different flavors.
Yep.
The original, then they had the grape, and they had
Man, what yeah, say, give me my bazooka. That's all
yeah,
I ain't talking about
bazooka,
a gun. I'm talking about
yeah, big old
gum.
chunks of gum.
Yeah, they talk, what you want a gun? I said gum, not
No
gun.
gum.
Please, oh goodness, that's great. So no, don't look at me for the comic book expertise. Now, if you want to talk novels and the long form, because I was devouring books. So Wakili was
Oh, you probably like the Nancy Drew series and all of that.
Faded Nancy Drew. I was in middle school and like read Queen. You remember Alice Haley's Queen? Like I read it in
Mhm.
2 days. It was like 800 pages. Like
Wow.
yeah, that's what I was
You had
doing.
to put it in the comic book for me.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It didn't. I mean, really through
If it
high
didn't
school,
come in the
everything.
book form, in comic book form, I didn't read it.
So
Yeah.
let me pose this question to you, gentlemen, and whoever
Mhm.
wants to go first can go first. Um, if you were, and I know this may be a challenging question, but we're really setting a tone here for what it is that we're working to do with our new era of comic books. So, if there's a way you could express what comic books meant to you or how they influenced you early on, and without getting into, a rant fest, how do you feel about comics right now?
Okay. Well, what did comics mean to me? Well, you see, we created a comic book company. Comic books. It just opened up my world to stuff that like unbelievable things and
Mm.
things that like saying it was like this soap opera for kids, and you just kept wanting it. Like every Tuesday, every month, there's a comic book shop waiting for a new book, and the comic book owner will have all your books selected for you, and then it'd be like you read them all one day, and it was just it felt so good to me. And then more and more, it started being taken away. because it seemed to me the subject matter started getting diluted, and I kept feeling like they're just repeating things in a way, but just trying to find something to throw on top of it. Um, Not to, I don't like putting nobody out there, but it was Spider Man when became when they said he was a clone, and I'm like, well, that story happened in the '60s. Why are we dealing with it now? And then you see now it's still like you go to the movie theater, you see that with the snap. The snap happened years ago in comic books. So when he did the Infinite Gauntlet, excuse me, that was years ago. So we already knew that the snap was going to happen, and then they changed it. So it really, from my perspective, it's not my comic books anymore. So it's for another fan base. And then the violence became too violent, the sexuality too overtly sexual, and not to say that that it's every artist, whatever, but it's just what it is.
Yeah.
And I don't feel that that's a necessary thing in order to sell comic books personally. So with us, when what we did was like, hey, let's keep all the action, let's keep all the fun, let's keep all the bang bang boom, but without somebody getting their head exploded or some woman exposing herself to the world or even a man. So it is not necessary for our books to be and do what they're doing. And I think it's going to help us to be able to get a bigger audience because more people are looking for something that they can just sit down and enjoy and not feel like they got to have some kind of moral dilemma by looking at a comic book. So
That's great, babe.
yeah.
And I agree. You showed me a storm cover today. Trying to edit myself. I was like, is that the whole boob? Is that like the
Yeah, it
whole
was like
thing?
her. It was yeah, and I was like, I've never ever thought that I know Storm is a free spirit. In comic
Mm-hmm.
book, Storm has always been a free spirit. Storm doesn't like clothes a lot in comic books, but when they did it back in the day, they didn't really go where we saw them go, or what I showed you. So it's just like, okay, this is a little bit too much because I couldn't imagine being a 10-year-old boy going in a comic book store shop and seeing that book. It that's not for that's not for a 10-year-old kid to
And then
have to
art now is so
contemplate over.
hyper realistic at times too. Like
Yeah, and they
it's a
like
whole
the
different
artwork
thing.
that I do, and that's one of the reasons. Like I said, I toned it down. I used to be a lot, and so I'm not here to point fingers at people because it's a growth thing. It was a growth thing for me. But when you see our comic books and you see Adroit Comics, you feel free to just be like have a really good time.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. I can remember Wonder Woman was always sexy to me when I was growing up. So I mean, she was always a nice, woman.
Yeah.
And when they brought the Amazon women, and I didn't know about Amazonian women, so that taught me something there too. And then when they had started adding the Black Amazonian women to that effect, it kind of gave me some insights. Like, oh, okay, we got some sisters in there.
Hmm.
So that was pretty cool. So back then they didn't show a whole lot. They just showed legs and they had their breasts kind of firm and kind of tucked, but not nothing that's revealing. To see all of that, but it just gave some insights of how I was thinking of the action and activities of the women, like the African women tribes when they used to go to war and battle and all of that, and they would have their gear on. So it took me back to level and
Hmm.
up, and I'm like, "Ooh, that's cool." So when I started noticing they talked about Africa in bits and pieces of the culture, and I'm referencing where is because in comic books we always want to know where's this place at. Remember we used to do that
Yeah.
before?
Yeah.
Where's this place at? We want to look and find out if there's somewhere in the United States or other countries that they referencing this from. And so that was my thing back then. And me and my homeboys and homegirls, we were and had female comic book geeks too. And they were all saying, "Well, wait a minute, where did we find this place?" So we were in our imaginations in our heads try to find it physically in the United States or around the world where we can pinpoint that location. And we say, is Amazon women real, or is that a real location that they were at in all of this? So those are the things that we kind of had in our heads growing up, and we just kind of looked at it and say, man, I think I referenced that. Where does Superman come
Somebody
from?
give me some tissue.
Is there a true metropolis? Until we found out that there is a metropolis, Illinois, we did find out that Superman is originated there. So
definitely.
Agreed.
So
that's excellent. So Ed, how do you feel about the current? Well, that sounded like agreement.
About
like
the comic books
agreeing
today?
with the kids. Yeah.
Oh well, I agree with my brother. I mean, because today you know what? I was just looking to see if they have some comic book stores here in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and I found a couple. And so I'm going to check them out and see how they do it. I'm going to interview one of them on my podcast, actually, so I can talk about it. And I want to get their input. And mostly you notice the ones that's holding these shops down, and not necessarily all young people, but there's older groups that's holding down these shops. So I'm always looking forward to it, because
I remember there were two in Hampton that I used to go to. There was one on Mercury Boulevard, and then there's one in Phoebus. So I'm not sure if they were great
Seven
to see
cities,
there.
dog. Seven cities.
It was right on.
I'm telling you. So and I'm going to check it out, Chesapeake and all the rest of them, and see what they got, especially in Norfolk. So that's next door right there. But yeah, the thing about it, it has changed and it has gotten a lot more vulgar now with that, and even the cartoons, they cussing in the cartoons now. I'm like, wait a minute, when they start doing that, so all that there is like, well, these kids gonna learn that language real quick.
Exactly.
So when they start seeing it, I'm like, especially in DC Comics, because it didn't got darker.
They're trying to compete, and it's like this one thing they try to overdo the next person, and then it's.
Well, Marvel has already been gone that way because of the war, and then now that they had all this going on, and then Thanos came, and and now you got all these other characters, these evil guys that's coming out, and they wiping out people. And it's like, wait a minute, is it going to be, what is the end of all of this? What is the end?
Exactly.
It's just chaotic.
So it's just, it got real chaotic. And barbarianism is really key. And so I think that's what's selling. And then you got these guys from other planets coming in trying to take over, another world.
It's hard when you don't know who to cheer for.
Right.
And that's what's happening in comics. It's like, who am I going to cheer for? Because
the question should be, with the young people today that's got hold of these comic books, what are they thinking about? And then what about the parents?
I don't think they're reading them. I mean, I can't speak for, you say that's what's selling. Is it selling? That's a question.
Well, honestly, they're not. That's why
there are in some cases, but not like it used to.
Not like they used to.
Right.
And the kids, that part
has fell off. Right. That part fell off.
From what I've been seeing and throughout, our research, comic book industry is really suffering because of the subject matter. And when you have movies that you've played over and over, and it's just pretty much
overlap, and it's an overlay of the same stuff.
Exactly.
And there's nothing new that they have created different. And like I said, remember the independent ones I was giving you the names of those guys. And they're also now mimicking that tone.
Exactly.
And so what we have here in Adroit Comics is totally opposite of all of that.
Exactly.
And what you have put together and what y'all put together has really been a phenomenal thing, because you want to read now. You want to pick up and read.
That's great.
What's the next thing, and what's going on, and breaking news. What's the breaking news? What's going on here? What's happening? So this is what brought it back to life, because it woken me back up to see, oh, somebody's actually paying attention here. somebody's actually understanding what really is the capture of the mind of the young person or the adult that's reading the book and looking at the different characters and how they're associated one with the other, and then the origin stories that they have that they're telling. And so it's really good. And the maps, oh my God, the maps, it's off the chain. So these things like that, you want to be a participant. You want to be a part of New Siena and Capital City and all the different levels that you guys have put there. Now these layers is edible and it's readable, and you're going to want to get more and more and more out of it because now you've seen the female characters, you've seen the male characters, you got the teenagers, so you got all groups in here. So with the champions and the adversaries, and you're looking at the adversaries, wow, look at that adversary, he's pretty big, or he's got something going on over here where he get his power, you know. So those things like that is what keeping you engaged and engulfed into the whole realm and the world of Android Comics.
Thank you, Ed. We
Yes,
really, really
appreciate it.
appreciate
Yes.
you. That means so much because you're writing, you're writing, you're drawing, you're drawing. We've been working at it for years, and
Mm-hmm.
now we're really at the point where we're like we're promoting and we're sharing and we're getting it out there to the world. Um, just hours, days, years of writing and drawing.
Yeah, yeah.
Like crazy people. People thinking, what are you doing? It's not selling it. Oh, just wait,
Yeah.
just wait. So now we have Crimson Hawk issue number 1, Crimson Hawk issue number 2, Crimson Hawk issue number 3
That
comes
started.
out in the fall, right?
That's the
We
plan.
have Adroit Comics issue 1, Adroit Comics issue 2, and then Adroit Comics 3 will be out in the next month or so. That was waiting on me to finish writing it because Keely already finished all the art. And
Oh,
then we have a new series that we're launching, Team Z, which is really focusing on our teenagers, and that's going to
And
be
Ebony
later this
Stone.
spring. And Ebony Stone. I'm saying we saying it like y'all you haven't met anybody yet. Y'all gonna meet everybody. They're like old friends to us, so sometimes we'll talk. I'm like, y'all don't know that yet. They don't know this yet, but you will. You'll know all of it. But we know that stories, comics, and creativity have truly helped shape the world as we know it. And now we're ready to help build a whole new generation of comic book lovers. Like whenever I talk to kids now, and we'll be out places or we do workshops. So right now we're working with the after school program. And I'll say, do you like comic books? And they just kind of look at me. Oh, thank you. Sorry, guys, I have a little cold. They'll just look at me and,
mhm.
like, no, I never read a comic book. I mean, I like Spider-Man movies. I like Iron Man. I like the movies, and I've watched the movies with my parents, but they haven't actually, like, physically held comic books to read comic books. And
Right.
then
Mhm.
we're using these books in reading classes. We're using them. I'm using them for reading intervention. Like that's a big part of our legacy and what we've been building here is really with the intent to be able to enrich young minds, to inspire, make a super super awesome story that everybody can enjoy, and then take that super super awesome story and use it as a vehicle to help boost reading skills, to help boost engagement and give kids something that they can really be excited about.
Mhm.
That takes us to our next segment, the reading revolution. So the reading revolution, I'm not sure if we have that to share. If not, it's okay.
Yes, we do, my love.
Yay! Thanks, Ben. So the reading revolution, y'all have to forgive me. I have a kindergarten teacher's heart. That's from my
That's
grandmother.
all right.
Yeah, so you get a
So
lot
this
of
is the one
gays, you
for
get
Zimbabwe,
yay.
Z.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay,
Hold on.
perfect. The
Let me
Zimbabwe.
pull that up so
Shout
we
out to
can.
Nkosi
There we
Mwasa
go.
in Zimbabwe and Coach Lenny in Zimbabwe for their help. So we are launching an international literacy and youth empowerment initiative, and it's called the Reading Revolution. Now, I'm not giving you the whole, presentation and pitch today, but just sharing with you so that you'll know that we are actively working to enrich the communities around the world by delivering free comic books, inspirational stories, reading support, reading resources, especially in the communities that need us the most. And in your support, in your becoming a citizen of New Siena, whenever you're downloading our books, know that you are supporting our educational goals. Because even I'll get a little personal. There was a time in our lives where we really had to pull back from everything that we had known to really start over and start fresh in what the Father had appointed for us to do. And before that, I mean, we were working the Hollywood scene. Acting is in my blood. That's my original trade, I guess you will, my original artistry. And we were really pushing Keely's artwork. And that industry just wasn't for us. The more and more we saw what lied there and who the people were and how the people act and what they wanted from us that we knew wasn't what the Father wanted from us, we started everything over. And he actually gave up artwork. Like he stopped drawing for, I mean, I think maybe a year.
It
It seemed
was.
like maybe.
I'm not sure how long. It was for a minute though.
But it was for a minute. It was for a minute. But I got him to come back and I got him to draw when I started teaching online and I was teaching English online. And I was like, well, babe, could you just draw me some stuff for a background or could you draw me some stuff? And that's really the beginning of this empire that we've been building when it comes to reading and comic books for kids and for families. So that's just a bit about our reading revolution. We'll just share more tidbits along the way, but our goal is to really help change the world one comic book at a time, for the better, of course, because there's lots of people trying to change it for the worse, but we're here to change it for the better.
Yeah,
All
definitely.
right. All right, so I know we wanted to keep it under an hour, so I just have a couple more little things. So a little bit of fun for the C3 showdown. Okay, so Ed, Keely, and me. Choose your superpower. Any superpower from the long list of possible
Flying.
superpowers. Flying, okay. Okay, say
Invisibility.
why. You said invisibility. Yeah, that's been popular. I've been asking the kids this too. Okay, flying, invisibility. I don't know. Tell me why y'all picked y'all's, and when you finish telling me why, then I'll have mine.
I was about to say, well, babe, you know why it's flying for me, but nobody else knows. Well, when I was a little kid, uh, maybe around 5, I started having dreams of that I could fly, but
Hmm.
I didn't know how to fly. So I would fly. You remember the greatest American hero?
Yes.
I used to fly like him in my dream. But first, I started jumping like the Hulk, to do these big jumps. And then I was able to like start levitating and like keeping myself up. But I was flying crazy. But as years went on, I taught myself how to fly in my dreams.
Mhm.
So in my dreams, I've flown into the outer atmospheres. I've flown to different lands that I couldn't even imagine to tell y'all that I've been to. So to be able to just experience that in real life would be a cool feeling for me.
Yeah, yeah.
That's great,
Well,
Vic.
I tell you, that's super. I had dreams like that too once upon a time, of flying and didn't know. Wait a minute, what am I flying? Am I really flying? But visibility. Why? Because it gives me an opportunity to really listen in to things that's really going on, and then trying to solve problems quickly by the ones that's trying to create the problems. And if you remember, Question from DC Comics, the guy with no face,
Hmm.
he always was a good investigator in reference to these things, and he was also, kind of like a person that just wanted to find out the answer to the question and why did these things happen. And he had a lot of conspiracy theories that he had, but it gave him some insight to the minds of the wicked and the minds of corrupt people that was trying to disrupt the natural order of things.
Hmm.
So I will get a chance to do all of that, listen to all of that. They wouldn't see me, but then I'll be able to bring an order to an imbalanced group of people that's trying to throw things out of order.
That's great.
That's such a great answer. Thank you, Ed. And
And
Keely,
you?
your answer was great. I knew you were going to let me not say it. I'm ready. So that I'm not copying my husband and saying flying too, I will add another teleportation.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
teleporting.
Teleportation. Either I have portals like Bonnie Voyage, who you haven't met yet, but you'll meet her soon. Yeah, I would be like Bonnie Voyage because she flies and opens up
Teleport.
portals to go different places. So then
Yeah.
we can go wherever we
I
want
think you
to.
just took my power.
You what for teleportation?
Now I just met you. I would also like to be powerful like Crimson Hawk, but not. I know Ed's a big hurricane guy. That's too much for me.
I love Hurricane, man.
I know. I know.
I look, man.
I
I can throw a tornado anywhere and a hurricane anywhere and knock people out like that. I can disrupt the whole thing. I can make tidal waves.
that's
Y'all
his
got to know
sister's.
Crimson Hawk. Oh yeah, his sister's
That's his
tidal wave.
sister's job. Yeah,
But
because sister
but
has
still
that power to
no. I
open
mean,
portals.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
so no,
as
but
it goes,
no,
yeah.
I
I mean,
understand. He much more powerful as far as his abilities to, but then you have a tactician. You
You guys,
remember?
I was
You
just
remember?
jumping in. I was just jumping in to let our listeners know, because I want you to keep going, that to see these characters we're talking about, Bonnie Voyage, Crimson Hawk, the Hurricane, visit our website, visit adroitcomics.com, look around, get a digital download. Okay, go ahead, keep going. You
You're so
said you were
funny.
talking.
So there was this. I can't remember which cartoon it was when Batman they infiltrated the Batcave and
hmm
Batman had came up with a plan to take out everybody in the Justice League.
yeah, I remember that episode.
And tactician, detective.
Yeah.
So it so
Mirror
he stopped
Master was the
Superman
one that Mirror Master was the only one that was able to
and would
infiltrate.
get in it. Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, I remember that
yeah,
episode.
so he Crimson Hawk I would say can play chess better than better than Hurricane
Okay.
because of his ability. The reason I would say that is because Hurricane's a teacher. He's not. He wasn't built to fight.
Right.
And he doesn't understand the fight like Crimson Hawk understands the fight as of yet. So
Okay.
when you are not necessarily the most powerful, you have to figure out some other ways to be able to take out beings that are more powerful.
Then you.
Versus when you are more powerful, sometimes you'll get a little bit, you know, complacent and feeling like you're going to already win the war and win the fight, but this other guy is come in and really found your weakness,
hmm
and that's I mean I guess that's like the war with Lex Luthor and Superman
Right.
is mind and brawn. So how does a man who have no powers can even come close to beating Superman is because of his mind.
Right.
Yeah. So
And he finding the weakness of that
yeah,
individual,
yeah,
which is kryptonite, which he knew that was going to weaken Superman on all levels. So, yeah,
exactly.
mind over bronze is always going to outdo anything because they always find a way.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you, gentlemen. These are such awesome. This is such an awesome dialogue. I'll say it like that. Well, we're super excited. I'm so tickled about our first official podcast of the C3 podcast, episode number
Mhm.
1. And we're about to wrap it up. Yay! We're about to wrap it up.
Yep.
We're gonna I'll keep breaking news. I didn't want to go too far over, but I wanted y'all to be able to in the next episode, we can talk more about Crimson Hawk because you really got to meet Crimson Hawk.
Mhm.
Right now, if you head to our website, you can get your digital issues of Crimson Hawk number 1 and issue number 2. And then that'll get you set up for Crimson Hawk issue number 3. Crimson Hawk is a soldier without a past. He's a man of mystery, even to himself. He lost his memory 10 years ago, about 10 years from when our story begins. So when
Mhm.
you pick up your first issue from the Adroit Comics universe, you are in the year 3073. Okay. You're in the year 3073. So 10 years before we're beginning is when Crimson Hawk lost his memory and he woke up in the jungles of Kyoshi. And Kyoshi is like our Vietnam meets Hawaii. So he
Mm.
woke up in the jungles of Kyoshi with no memory of who he was. And that's all I'm going to say right now,
Well, he was
because
more found in the jungle
he was found in the jungle. Well, you say
than.
what you want to say, because
No,
we're
I
going
just
to do
said
this.
found more so than woke up. I mean, he woke up, but
Hmm.
of course, but he was beat and battered when he got
Yeah.
found,
Hmm.
and they helped him to heal the.
Can we say who? You said they. Can we
Oh
say
yeah,
who?
Lika
Okay.
and Pops.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we can definitely say
All
that.
right.
That's
Yeah.
yeah. Pops didn't really want to rescue him. He wanted to leave him
All
Hmm.
right.
there.
And we have so much more to reveal, so much more to share. And we want you to read. We want your
Hmm.
feedback. We want to hear from you. And we also want you to become a citizen of New Siena. Okay,
Yeah.
so our goal is to get our first 2,500 citizens of New Siena. We have so many amazing perks. We have a whole new community
Mhm.
that's going to be launching in April for Adroit Comics April. And we are inviting you to make history with us. We're setting up a whole new era of comic books, one that's focused on bringing back joy, bringing back inspiration, and family togetherness, stories that we can read together, stories that we can enjoy together, and stories that won't scar your children forever. Like, you can have a discussion but not have to have a discussion, to make them feel better about life because they've just been assaulted by, stuff you don't want them to see.
Right.
So we invite you to join us on this journey, and that's all I have today. I'm thankful. I'm excited. Thank you, Ed, for helping us host this.
No problem. No problem. No problem. That's what it's really all about. And guys, you can also go to the website at androidcomics.com. You don't want to miss out on these episodes that we talked about, and also looking at the characters and become members and citizens of New Siena.
Hmm.
And you want to definitely do that. So, but we'll be back again. This is just our first episode, our
Hmm.
first launching pad here, and we'll have more on a regular, consistent basis every Wednesday now. I think Wednesdays will
Hmm.
be good days we can do
Yeah.
this. And
Yes.
we can definitely tap into a lot of your minds and readerships and see exactly where you guys have gone in reference to your ventures in the comic book arena. So with
Hmm.
that, we want to thank everybody. You guys, again, go to our website at androidcomics.com. Check it out. If you have any questions or inquiries, you can always go out and fill out the form on the website. Check us out, and you will see more posts as we get ready for the month of March. So with that, you guys take it easy, keep the faith,
Okay,
and keep
everybody.
living the dream.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks,
Be
everybody.
epic.
Bye bye.
Bye.
And